Hi, do you know the 8 essential documents that you should be aware of as a home seller? Well, whether you're for sale by owner or you're working with a traditional agent, there are 8 essential documents that you should be aware of prior to going into the home selling process. So, my name is Angela Toller, and I'm your Metro Denver agent. If you like any of the information that's presented here, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel down below. But let's dive right into these documents. So the first document you need to know about is the exclusive right to sell. This is an agreement between you, the seller, and the real estate agent and their brokerage. And what this document does is it delineates what is owed to you as the seller in terms of services from both the brokerage and the agent, but it also documents your responsibility to the agent that you're working with as well as their brokerage. There are a couple of primary things that you really want to pay attention to when you're filling out this form and working with your agent. The first of which is you want to make sure that the agent has clearly delineated the services that they're going to be providing to you. The second thing that you want to make sure is in there is that they put a date in by which they're going to have your home listed for sale, both with the for sale sign out front as well as listed in the MLS. The third thing that you want to pay attention to is the success fee that you're going to be paying to the real estate agent and their brokerage. Now, you may also want to go so far as to determine what percentage of that fee you're paying is the co-op fee. And the co-op fee is the amount of money that's going to get paid to the real estate agent who brings you a buyer. All right, now moving on, the next document that we want to talk about is the contract to buy and sell residential real estate. This is the document that you're going to receive, whether you're for sale by owner or you're working with a real estate agent, from the seller. And what this document is it's their offer on your house. So this document is a very long document. It's got a bunch of subsections in it that describe your rights, your responsibilities, and what to do if there's a problem. But here are the primary things that you want to look at and really focus on when you're going through the document. You want to pay attention to the dates and deadlines section of the contract. This will outline who is supposed to do what by when. And if there's any of these dates you don't like, you can correct that with a counterproposal. But let's just stay on this document for right now. The next section of the contract to buy and sell residential real estate that you want to focus on is the money section. So this is a table that's a couple of pages in, and the top number is going to be the amount of money that's being offered to you. Now, there are other numbers that are going to show up in that document, but they have to do with the amount of earnest money that's being submitted to title, as well as the amount of cash that the buyer needs to bring to closing. But the one you're really most concerned about is that top number, which is the offer. After that, you want to go and look at your additional provisions. This is where anything additional that the buyer may want to specify is listed. And in some cases, you'll find this section of the document is completely empty. In others, there will be very long or clear specifications about what they're looking for. All right, moving on to the third document. The third document is the counterproposal. This is your chance as the seller to make a counterproposal or a counteroffer to the buyer. So let's say you don't like some of the dates and deadlines that are being offered in the original contract. This is your opportunity to send back adjusted or amended dates and deadlines. Or perhaps you don't like the offer they're making on the house. Let's say you want $750,000 for your house and they're offering you $680,000. This is your chance to send back an offer that is more in line with what you want to get for your home. After that, let's say you all come to an agreement and contracts get signed and you're now under contract on your house. The fourth contract that you need to know about isn't really a contract, it's actually a disclosure, is the seller's property disclosure. Now, Colorado is currently requiring that all sellers fill out the property disclosure. This has never been an optional document, even though it's occasionally been treated like one. And this is where you put as much information as you know about your home in the document to let buyers know what it is they're getting. So if you know that you've had an issue with your basement flooding, you have to put that in there. if you know that you've had your roof replaced in the last few years, you want to put that in there because you want them to know that you've got a newer roof. Or let's say that you've replaced your heating system and you know the age of it is 5 years or less. You also want to put that in there. So again, this is a very lengthy document, but it's critical information to pass on and provide. After that, we get to document number 5, which is the lead-based paint disclosure. Now, this disclosure only applies to your house if it was built after January 1st of 1978. So if your house, sorry, did I say after? I meant before. So if your house was built before January 1st of 1978, you'll need to fill out a lead-based paint disclosure. And what this says is it says the house is old enough, it may have lead-based paint, and lead-based paint is a hazard should it be inhaled or ingested. After that, we go to the inspection resolution. Now, you will have received an inspection objection from the buyer, but as a seller, what you're really interested in is not just the inspection objection, but the resolution form. This is how you're going to communicate back to the buyer what you're going to do, if anything, in terms of the objections that they've submitted. After that, you want to look at the agreement to amend or extend contract. Now, this gets used when, let's say, for example, they went and did an inspection and they want you to fix the roof. And in order for you to fix the roof, you're going to have to extend the closing deadline, for example, in order to be able to get your contractors in there and get the work done before closing. Or let's say they can't meet on their end the financing deadline and they need an extra couple of days to get the appraisal done. This is where you're going to make an adjustment to that appraisal date and deadline. So like I said, the agreement to amend extend contract is where you're going to make any adjustments to the primary contract that are needed as a result of either not being able to meet dates and deadlines or any other changes that you want to make because of the inspection objections. After that, we get to the last document, which is the notice of termination. Notice of termination is something that can be used by the buyer or the seller to terminate the contract. However, here's something very important to keep in mind. If you're going to be using this document, you need to be using it in compliance with the dates and deadlines and the information spelled out in your initial contract to buy and sell residential real estate. You can't just terminate a contract because you want to. It has to be by the book. I hope you found this information helpful, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Have a fantastic day.